Okay, everybody, buckle your seatbelts because the Michael Finkley Show has a brand new home. The Michael Finkley Show is now a part of the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. To watch, add the Greater Works Network channel to your Roku TV. Congratulations, Finkley! Are you trying to leave your mark in the entertainment world? Does your company need some type of personal development? Well, this is the show for you. We have Stephen McCoy.
Literally, it took 6 years to finally be in a position that I want, which was radio, Disney, and to be compensated.
Justin Rambo.
In that, the development and the growth journey, when you're trying to discover yourself, you're trying to understand the things that have happened in your life.
Coming up.
Just to make it.
As I have said time and time again, I have always wanted to go into the communication world, the world of journalism, broadcasting. I even applied to a few radio stations back in the day, and because I did not have the experience, I feel they never called me back. And so I decided to make my own lane, my own seat at the table. And I'm so glad I did, because I have been enjoying this ride here at the Michael Finkley Show since last year, and we have done some incredible things here. You have heard some incredible stories, and so we're going to keep going. But in this industry, you get to meet a lot of different people that can help a lot of people as well. And so Stephen McCoy is with us. What? Stephen McCoy is with us, and he is the CEO of Spoken Entertainment. And I'm telling you, he has the pull, right? He has the pull in the entertainment world. He's been doing this for more than 10 years, and this man knows what he's talking about. An awesome resource and a cool new friend. And I'm so excited that I had a chance to interview him. And then also on the other realm, when it comes down to your own personal development, I feel that is so important. It's so important. We also have an expert here that will maximize on your personal success. We have Justin Rambo with us, and I'm telling you, he's worked with some of the best persons to get them on the right track to where they want to be in life for their own personal success. So y'all, another awesome show. You ready? Let's do it. We'll be right back. Coming up, we have Stephen McCoy. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley, school counselor expert Dr. Russell Sabella, and founder of Peralta Designs is Ramon Peralta. Next Finkley, Wednesday. To the Michael Finkley Show. Again, we have an awesome person with us today. He is a host, a producer, an author. Y'all, I think I'm forgetting the title, but we're going to talk about it. He's the real McCoy, y'all. He is Stephen McCoy. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I am super, super well. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. We are a fan from afar. We stalk you in the bushes, but we love what you do. We definitely love what you do, especially in an industry like this. Thank you so much for what you do. So what influences, Stephen, in New Jersey, where you grew up, made you want to be who you are today?
Well, in New Jersey, it was definitely, I remember going to the New Jersey Performing Arts Center for the first time, NJPAC as we call it, and there was plays and so many different forms of entertainment. And as a little boy, when I went to look at those plays, and my mother, and even school trips, it was really, really inspiring. And I knew that I wanted to tell a story in some form of art, and it was really interesting to me. And also just where I grew up in general, the communities that I grew up in, I just knew that I always had like it wasn't a lot going on in the community at times, but I've always had a huge imagination, and because of places like NJ Pat, it
Right.
completely inspired me to just want more, to imagine bigger. So
Right.
yeah.
I love that. And that passion leaked into as when you went off to college and you did your internships. And two major ones that really stuck to me as I read more about you, Disney and BET with 106 in Park. So how important were internships for you during that time?
Well, yes, internship was very important. I remember um, speaking to someone, Alicia Renee at BET, and even in high school, I was always on MySpace trying to search, search positions and everything. It's crazy. I was always like trying to figure out what can I do to at least get my foot in the door.
Right.
And she was the person that said it would be good if you start off and do an internship. And I'm like, internship, what is that? And she explained to me, not all the time. It is a job to kind of get your foot in the door for you to be able to learn to be a student. And you may not get paid, So those were things that I was looking for, because you can't expect to just jump in, and, not all of us have that luxury of not having to work for what you have.
Right.
So I've been interning for 5 years before I got my first internship, which was at Disney, the Walt Disney Company. So literally, it took 6 years to finally be in the position that I want, which was Radio Disney, and to be compensated for it as well. So 5 years of just grinding and trying to prove myself
Right.
to people in the industry, and ultimately gaining the respect of my peers. So
Right. Gotcha. Oh my gosh. And again, we appreciate what you've done and what you're doing in this industry. You've even started your own media company, Spoken Entertainment. How Tell us more about that, please, because I just think that's just amazing.
yes, I am so proud of that, because that is, my company is really a vision. I had to do something to say to myself, you know what, I can do this, because although I worked for BET, and although I've worked for Disney, there
Mhm.
were still doors that was being closed in my face. And I remember I thought, like, yay, like now that I'm with Disney, I can do this and do that. Obviously, when you're with Disney, there are some contractual agreements that you cannot, certain things that you can and that you cannot do. Obviously, with BET, I was a little bit more free to do other things. However, it was just really time for me to give myself the opportunity. All the years that I've learned from my internships for my professional job, I was like, I'm gonna put all of that into my own, and I'm gonna show them. And that's because again, a lot of people did not believe in me. And sometimes there's still that, a little bit of that. But I always had to fight for it. So basically my media company, we produce content. I obviously produce my show, Sessions with Steven, which is on iTunes. And what's amazing, that I'm very excited about, is the new team that I've hired, for signing to my company. It's a tech team that I've signed to my company, and they do a lot of different, like we do PR work, we do social media verification.
Mhm.
When this airs, by the time this airs, I should be verified on Instagram, but I am verified on Facebook. Where it's a brand new team that I've hired, and we've been really very successful with that. So I'm really happy because my business is becoming way more successful. So and I just want to continue to grow and help people who because sometimes it is the truth. People want to see what's going on. You know, you want to build your presence. You know, when people Google you, they want to be able to see that you are, you know, what you say that you are.
Yeah.
So our job is to bring your presence to life, and I want to continue inspiring people that once was like. You know, I always was very hungry and I always tried to figure it out. And sometimes people don't want to tell you everything. So I'm that person to say, I'm just regular me. You know, you may see me here with this person or that celebrity, but at the end of the day, I still come back home to New Jersey and I have family that work different jobs. My mother is a teacher, so
Mhm.
I'm very well connected with the community.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh wow! So that passion as you talk about it just leaks out of the screen, Stephen. It really does. And I love the way you said you fought, you fight, you continuously fight for everything that you do. And so you yourself have been interviewed by Fox, CNN, CBS, NBC, and you've been with some of the best celebrities out there. But what is it like still being a Black male in this industry? What kind of things have you faced?
A lot. Like obviously I did face racism. I faced discrimination as well. I am you know, starting off, I remember this year in 2013, you know, I founded my company in 2011, which was a year before I got the opportunity to work for Disney. But because I was working for Disney, you know, other side projects wasn't something I was the face of Disney. I was the host of Radio Disney, so I couldn't continue that. But um, it was a year where it was my first time in LA. I had got a major opportunity to work with Fox Searchlight, and it was great. I was just so excited, and I got to the Four Seasons Hotel. I was going to be interviewing my favorite actress, one of my favorite actresses, and when I got to the door, you
Mhm.
know, I wanted to check in, and people have, you know, the PRs that was there. I'm like, hi, I'm Stephen McCoy, just checking in. You're Stephen McCoy, you know, and looked me up and down. And the story definitely got deeper from there. And that story will be in a book, and who the actress is. And the actress, what I will say, when we was supposed to have did an on-camera interview,
Mhm.
and they told me, no, there will be no on-camera interview. Um, so I had to end up using my phone, the audio from my phone. In 2013, the audio on the phone was not the best. And the interview is actually on YouTube. So that would prove why the quality was so bad.
Mhm.
Um, there was a round table interviews is when journalists all sit around the table,
Yep.
and we are basically competing to try to put out, you know, questions. And but the actress, she was being she saw how they were treating me,
Mhm.
and she's a Caucasian actress, and she saw how they were treating me, so she kind of went along with it, you know. And I was kind of like, damn, that kind of, this feels really funny.
Yeah.
And when everything was wrapped, everyone was taking photos with her. Of course, I wanted a photo with her, considering the fact that I was supposed to have video content. And I promised my viewers that I would provide them with video content. I've been treating, I've been Facebooking and everything leading up to that moment. And then for them to tell me, so I just wanted some sort of content. The actress said, yeah, sure. And she turned her head around, but almost hit. I can't recall if she did with her hair, but I just remember her hair being like almost slapping me. And she started engaging in a conversation that she wasn't even a part of. And from that moment, the publicist over at Fox Searchlight ran over to me and was like, hey, I'm sorry, you can't take a photo. And I'm like, why not? Like, and she was like, yeah, you just can't take a photo. And I'm like, but they're taking a photo with her. What's the difference between them and I? And she's like, you weren't approved. And I'm like, approved? And she's like, I'm sorry, you can't take any photos. And that part, she got a little bit more serious. And I just remember walking out. I called my mother. I was heartbroken because this was for one, I've never really experienced racism. I've never quite experienced racism, especially until I got to LA. And that was my first time. And this was the biggest interview that I was doing. And from that moment, I was introduced to the real world, the real how the world is, and how sometimes the people that we support are not always people who support us. Although now the actress is supposed to be an ally to the Black community, supposedly now. So all of that, all of it will be in my book. So.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And my book is going to be called Sessions with Steven, The Lie I Almost Told to Get Ahead.
Wow. And just hearing that story, it just encourages me even more, as you did. You made your own seat at the table. You started your company. You have your awesome show and your book. Please tell us about this book, because you keep talking about it. You're teasing us, Steven. Tell us about this book.
Yes. Well, yes, I'm very, very excited about my book. It has been nerve-wracking a little bit too, because of all the stories that I'm putting in the book. The book is about, it's titled Sessions with Steven, The Lie I Almost Told to Get Ahead. The Lie I Almost Lived to Get Ahead, I'm sorry. And basically it's about my personal and professional experiences. Everything in my personal life that led me to be driven enough and courageous enough to go into my journalism career, and things that I faced behind the curtain. So, I felt I needed to write this book, not because I want the spotlight on me and, like, look, this is the book I really, blah, 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 like, here it is. No, I feel like my story is necessary and needed. And because what was happening was, and I know I'm not the only one, I felt like I was the only one at one point experiencing what I was experiencing behind the curtain, which was racism and discrimination. And what I've always learned from other people was you keep your mouth shut, and hopefully you'll get the position that you want. And to me, I just got tired of it. It was unfair. I put in the work, and there has been times where I attended a red carpet and I would see my name. They would tell me that they don't see my name, and I would look and I'm like, there it is right there. That's me right there. And they would be like, they come up with some sort of excuse going up and, discuss with another PR, and we'd be like, hey, yeah, I'm so sorry. We're actually full or whatever, and I would have to turn back around with my equipment. And it was and again, just calling my mother heartbroken, and me not understanding, like, why is this happening? Like, what, and why am I going to protect these people? Did some things need to be said because there are journalists that are coming behind me, and I feel the responsibility, some sort of responsibility to shout it out on a rooftop that, hey, something's going on over here, and I need everyone to see it so that we can change it. Without conversation about it, it would continue to go on. So I refuse it. And now that I have my own company, I can rely on myself. I don't need, of course, like, hey, if you have some opportunities out there, I'm willing, you can holler at me about that. However, I am a true entrepreneur, and I don't feel fair to now be able to really tell my story. I had to set it up. I had to make sure that I was fine to be able to tell my story. And I want to tell everyone that my book is definitely legit. Every story in there, I would be able to prove. I'm a journalist, so I rely on fact. There are some things I wish I could have put in there, but there's no proof of those things. So all of the stories that I'm able to tell, I will be able to prove if need be.
Wow. I can't wait. I know I can't wait to read that.
Yeah.
And in all of your experience that you had, Stephen, how do you want to be remembered?
Fair. I would like people to know me as a fair person. I just like to do anything that has to do with love. I'm not, to love fearlessly. I truly believe in love. So I don't fight hate with hate. I try to figure out, because a lot of times what happens is, even in this day and age with racism, we can go to a store or Walmart or inside Gucci or wherever, and you see other white people, and maybe you might feel some type of way because you're seeing this too much, and you're just like, well, I've seen it happen where people like, these people or whatever, but not everyone is the same, just like us. We're not everyone is murderers, not everyone robs people, or and so many of us is very successful. So I would love to be remembered as a person that was fair, that was loving and accepting of all.
I love that. And it speaks volumes as you're saying it, because just meeting you for the first time, I can sense it. It's there. It's definitely there, Stephen. How can they find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Stephen McCoy. That's Stephen McCoy with Stephen with a B. So STEVENMCCOY. You can also add me and follow me on Facebook. That's Stephen McCoy, same thing, facebook.com/it's Stephen McCoy, B as in boy. So definitely contact me. And if you have any, things that you would like to ask, advice or anything that, I can help you with, holler at me. It's all love. We're all people.
All love, because we're all people. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much, Stephen, for being on, sharing your words, wisdom, and experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me and on your platform. And I will be seeing you soon, I'm sure. I know that your platform will continue to grow, and you have an amazing show. So congratulations, and I can't wait to see you.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Next, we have Justin Rambo. We'll be right back.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following two products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Our next guest, we call him Mr. Personal Development himself. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, Justin Rambo. Justin, how are you?
I'm great, Michael. Again, thank you for having me on the show, and I'm so excited, and I love the Mr. Personal Development tagline.
Of course, that's who you are. That's
Yeah.
definitely who you are. So I must ask this question. You are all about success, but this is a two-part question. What is success to you, and how have you used that term of success to get you where you are today?
Yeah. So to me, success is conquering thyself, and not necessarily just conquering thyself, but understanding yourself, growing within yourself, and maturing, because you can have all the money in the world, right? You can have all the flashy things, the cars, the house, the jewelry, the spouse, but you still have to deal with yourself. You still have these internal struggles. And so for me, success is always growing within yourself, learning yourself, and then going from there. That maturity, that personal development, that growth, that to me is success.
Gotcha. And how have you used that to get you where you are today?
I went through a period in my life where I lost my identity, meaning I wasn't sure who I was anymore, right? And I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
You have this identity that in your mind the world places on you, but you allowed the world to place it on you, or maybe it's something from your upbringing. And it took a lot of internal work going within myself to find out who I am, to lead me to what I'm doing now. And so that journey of growth within me magnified itself in all the other areas of my life, relationships, business, everything worked together. And so if I grow, the business grows. If the business is growing, it's because I'm growing. So I link those two as a direct correlation.
I love that. I love that. The journey of growth, and that is continuous through life.
Mhm.
And I feel that that goes along with what your platform is all about, versatile success. Please tell us more about this awesome concept.
Yeah, so Versatile Success is a personal development company. And so people are like, well, why'd you name it Versatile Success? The reason I named it that is I realized, number one, everyone has their own definition of success, right? Well, you may have someone who wants to be a successful entrepreneur or husband or wife, father, sister, whatever the case is, but everyone has their own definition of what their success is. But within that definition, there's not just one way to do it. I know we have a lot of gurus out there and they say this is how you should do certain things, but you have to realize over the course of human history, people have obtained the same things in different ways. So the versatility in whatever your desired success is depends on you, but you have to realize you can do it in your own way. So that's where the versatility comes in. And like I said, you define whatever success is to you.
Oh, wow. And like I said, it's personal. It's personal. It doesn't look the same for everyone. And so within your business, you have fed that into your podcast as well, the Versatile Success Podcast. And your guests, are they the ones that are talking about their own personal success?
Yeah, so I do it two ways. So I'll have guest interviews and I'll do solos. But in
Mhm.
terms of the guest interviews, I typically pick out individuals who have gone through something, who have gotten on the other side of it. So we've had guests who have, quote unquote, let's say, make it to the NFL, right? So that's their level of success. But then
Right.
we had other guests who have overcome alcohol addiction or an abusive relationship, whatever the case is. So that's their definition of success, but they tell their story in hopes to help other individuals. So I remember one of my first guests, he overcame alcohol addiction. And then maybe 8 months later, someone DM'd me and said it was because of that episode they changed their career. Right. And so that story of overcoming is what the human experience is about. Right.
Mhm.
As far as we know, this is like we're trying things out. So trial and error, we don't really know. And so if I can see that someone else has gone through something and that I'm going through and they've gotten over it, then I feel number one that I can get through it. Right. So that's where the
Mhm.
stories come from in terms of that, because it shows personal growth and personal development. And then I do solo episodes where I teach and talk about personal development.
I love that. And so when it comes down to the personal development and also, again, the definition of success, how does positivity and negativity play a role in these concepts?
Oh, that's a big question. Everything is energy, right? We've all heard that everything is energy. We can't see it sometimes. I mean, the only way we know the wind is here is because we feel it and it blows, but we can't see it, right? Unless
Mhm.
we throw some like color dye in the air and we see that color move. And so it's my belief that, and this is widely believed by a lot of people, but the energy you put out is also the energy you get back in. So we've all had friends, family members, or just people we know who gossip and they tend to be negative and they talk bad about people or they're complaining all the time, right?
Right.
Guess who they're hanging around and guess what they're watching? They're hanging around people who gossip, they're hanging around people who are negative, they're watching drama and things like that, and it's coming back, right? So it's going into them, going out of them, going into them, going out of them. And same thing with positivity though,
Yeah.
right? You can bring it in, you spew it out, bring it in, spew it out. But guess what? Once you start looking at things in a positive light, you start to notice other positive things. Your
Mhm.
mind is like, okay, he likes things that are positive. So let me show more things that are positive. It's like an algorithm, literally, right? Your brain is like an algorithm. So it's seeing what you like and bringing it to you a little bit more.
Right. And I remember one of your segments, I think it was maybe an interview or you were saying it as a motivational moment, you said, a negative is a positive used the right way. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So within that, the development and the growth journey, when you're trying to discover yourself, you're trying to understand the things that have happened in your life, the things in the past. A lot of times there are one, two, three, or four things that we can directly identify and say, this has been a pattern my whole life. And this has been an issue my whole life. This is what people have said about me based on whatever the circumstances are. And so mine was, okay, I had a huge temper, right? From as early as I can remember, huge temper. And so for a long time, I tried to hide it, but you can't really hide it, right? Once you get mad, you get mad.
Right.
I looked at it as a negative. So that's why I was trying to hide it. But I realized something in it. I realized that, okay, I may have a temper. And when I have a temper, people pay attention. So let me try to find some positive in that and redirect that focus, redirect that energy. And what I realized was the temper is telling me that I'm passionate about something. And when I am passionate, I can go full force into it. So let me redirect the
Mhm.
focus into something more positive because the passion will still show. So the same way, if you guys are watching on YouTube, the same way I move my hands and move my body and my gestures, it's the
Right.
same thing I did when I had a temper and it still grabbed the same type of attention. But now look at the
Yes.
focus and the energy is put into something positive. And so I think a lot of times the negative things we experience or the negative things that our uh, people say about us, we always take it as 100% negative, but life is balance. You have winter, spring, summer, fall. You have yin, you have yang, men, women. Everything is balanced, right? So
Right.
if there's a negative in something, there's also a positive in it. You have to take it out and refocus it. And just like I always give the example of individuals who mentally they're all over the place, right? You talk to these people and you have a long conversation with them. And let's say the conversation lasts 15 minutes, you walk away like, what just happened? Like, what were they talking? They talked about everything. They just have a lot of energy.
Right.
Energy is magnetic. So it's just that refocusing of energy. In fact, one of my daughters is we used to call her pokey, right? She's a little bit slower with everything. She takes her time. And if she's on her phone, it's hard to get her attention. And so we would call her name. And then like after the third time calling her name, what'd you guys say? And so I realized one day when she was doing her schoolwork, she was locked in 100% when the other kids weren't. So I realized me thinking that, her being pokey and her being slow or her not paying attention right away was a negative. But here's a positive in it. She has the ability to zero in and focus 100% on one thing, whereas a lot of people lose that focus. So they try to juggle multiple things. Yeah. And so it's that balance of, okay, what is the positive in this negative? How can I use it for me and go forward?
Definitely. And are these concepts actually included within your Lost and Found program?
Yes, 100%. I can't tell you enough how much the Lost and Found program has changed lives. So just to give you a brief overview, it's a 30-day program. And it's a 30-day program for individuals who lack clarity. They're not sure who they are. They feel lost. They feel stuck. They're not sure what their gifts and their talents are. And we take 30 days. We go through a bunch of things. Obviously, it's done over Zoom, right? COVID. So it's a group program. And then at the end of it, they come out with more clarity, but also a goal that then launches them to do something else. So we've had individuals in that program who have either started their business, run their program, or broken out of their shell and understand themselves more. And so some of these concepts that I just spoke about are in the Lost and Found program. And you can't put a price, in my opinion, on knowing yourself. That's the most important thing.
Very important. Very important.
I can gain all the money in the world, but if I don't know myself, what happens? I don't have a foundation. And we all know what happens if a building is built on a shaky foundation. If there's a storm, then the building comes crashing down. So the Lost and Found program is essentially my journey of personal development, self-discovery, wrapped into a 30-day program to see if what I went through would work for others. I ran a beta trial, tremendous results. I was surprised and astonished because, when it's you think, okay, it's just how I did it. But now seeing it work for other individuals, it showed me that, okay, there is a way to do it for certain people. And so, a lot of those concepts are in the program, but we dive deeper into, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the DISC assessment. We dive into that. We dive into behavioral traits. We dive into, and I go off on the program just like I am now. Right. So, I get really excited about this stuff, but, And so lately, and so it's pretty cool because I'm running the program, but I'm also turning it into a pre-recorded program too. But the Lost and Found program is essentially someone who's lost, and then at the end of it, they become found. They find themselves.
What an awesome concept. And the wording is just great for what you're doing there. And so I definitely appreciate the work that you are doing because you're looking at the whole individual and you're trying to get them to a level of personal success in their own right. So definitely please talk about your book, Turn Down the Noise. Please tell us more about that.
So the book is called Turn Down the Noise. And as I alluded to earlier, I'm a big believer in energy and positive energy.
Yeah.
When I was going through the period in my life, right? So I was an athlete all my life. After sports was over, I didn't know who I was because I was just an athlete. I was terrible in school, but I was a really good athlete, right?
Right.
So sports are over for me. I always felt stupid academically, right? That's what I thought. I was not smart. That's what I thought about myself because of my grades. Sports is over. What do I have left? I always felt like I wasn't enough. So I'm a very determined, driven individual. I dropped out of college 2 times, ended up going my 3rd time. I finally graduated with my bachelor's degree. And by that time I had 2 young daughters. And after that, I opened a business pretty much. had the business for 4.5 years, started working on personal development, closed the business down. While I had found myself at that period of time, I didn't know what to do in life. So there was like a 2-year period where I was like, okay, job to job, like there has to be something more.
Right.
And so I made a commitment to really focus in on myself, take my personal development to a new level, and then write my affirmations down. Make sure I said it every morning. Make sure I meditated every morning, pray, meditate, whatever you want to call it, every single morning, 4:30 in the morning. The wife is asleep. The kids are still asleep. So it's dark in the basement. And 2019, I said, what would happen if I eliminated all my distractions and focused on myself, knowing myself and what I should be doing in life? What would happen if I focused for a whole year? I think I would find that answer. So January 2019, no more music, no more social media, no more TV, right? Focused on myself, meditations, mantras, filling my brain with motivation, inspiration, personal development all day, all the time, still working a 9 to 5. Now, remind you, I thought it would take a whole year to figure out what I wanted to do. Monday, February 25th, 2019, I get off of work early. It's a snowy day. So I turn the fireplace on. My wife is still at work. The kids are still at school. And I'm sitting there reading a self-help book by Lisa Nichols. And I can't explain it, but it's like a lightning bolt. I call it D-Day, which is like download day. The information in terms of what I should be doing with my life came to me all at once. Versatile Success. Literally, the name came to me. By that night, I had the business LLC, the EIN, I had the logo drawn up, and the idea for a book came to me in that same, sequence. And so I say it came to me because I had no distractions. So what does that tell you? The answers you seek, you already have. We're just too distracted to see it. That's why I call the book Turn Down the Noise. And that's what the book is about. Eliminating distractions to go within, to find yourself, and to gain the clarity you're looking for in terms of what you should do with your life. It's like a radio dial, right? You're driving your car. Your body's the vehicle. You're driving your car. You turn the radio dial a little bit and you hear a little bit of static. You're not sure what it is. You turn it a little bit more. You're starting to hear some words, but a lot of fuzziness. Okay, you can tell people are talking or some music. You crank it a little bit more. You hit the right signal. You get all the information. You know who's talking, the song, all that stuff. So that's what I call it, right? In terms of you have the answers to what you should be doing, who you are, but there's just too many distractions for you to see it. And once you get through the fog, all the answers come to you. And so that's what the book is about.
Oh, my word. So many things were just running through my mind as you were saying this. And one of those things is purpose, right? When we turn down the noise and get to where a point in our life where we need to be, if we could just focus on those things, that purpose, because we're all trying to fulfill it, and some of us are still trying to figure it out. But turn down the noise. All right, turn down that noise, and you will find where you need to be, and what you need to be doing in this thing we call life. I love that. I love it. And so I must ask, if a person is just so baffled within trying to find their purpose or trying to find that meaningful success, what would you say to them?
The first thing I would say is take inventory of your environment. When I say take inventory of your environment, people automatically assume I mean like your neighborhood and things like that. No, it's your environment, who you're around, who you're listening to, but also what you're listening to. Because besides the physical, which is the last thing to change, our environment is mostly digital now, social media. What websites are you going to? What type of content are you watching, listening to? Because it's that energy, right? Listen, I was wild in my early 20s because of certain things I was listening to. I was kind of a wild boy back then. I was, that movement back then was kind of crazy. But take inventory of your environment first. Realize the people who are conducive to who you're trying to be or what you're trying to do. If they're not conducive, you have to either cut those people off or as some people say, love them from a distance. right? And let them see your growth, and then they'll come along. You can't pull them along because it's your journey. So monitoring your environment. But one cool thing I always tell people is to journal about your life. And everyone's like, oh, I don't like writing. I don't know how to, it's a lot to write. Break it into segments. From age 5 to 12, what did you experience? Who did you talk to? What were the fun parts? What were the sad parts? What'd you go through? And then age 13 to 17, so on and so forth, right? Because guess what? If I listen to an entire speech and then I go to you and say, hey, Michael, I listened to this speech and this is what it said. I'm not going to say verbatim the speech. I'm going to forget certain parts. So think about your life over time. That's decades of information. All stored in your head. So it's all swirled around, all mixed in. So when you write it out, you paint a better picture of your life through the actions of your life. As they say, actions speak louder than words. So I had one participant in the Lost and Found program. We did this very assignment. And he tells me, I did the assignment and it brought something to light. He came to me because he was struggling with networking and not necessarily gaining friends, but building relationships with individuals. And he said when he did that assignment, his mom died at age 10. So obviously he knows that. But he moved around every year from age 10 until he graduated from high school. So since he moved around, he realized at one point he didn't want to make new friends because he knew that he'd be moving a year later. And so he sort of shut himself off to opening up to new people. And that hurt him in terms of building relationships. But he never correlated that before. So now, since you know the information, once you know how something is constructed, you can do what? Reverse engineer the process. You can deconstruct it. And so it's, that's what I tell people pretty much is those two things to start out with. Monitor your environment, understand where you're at, what you're watching, what you're taking in, but journal about your life, right? Wow. And then break it out into segments.
I love that. Oh, wow. And that will keep those gears going. Definitely get those gears going. How can they find you on social media? And also, how can they purchase your awesome book?
Well, the book is on Amazon, right? Called Turn on the Noise, as we talked about. It's on printback and ebook. It's also on Barnes & Nobles for printback. And then you can find me on social media. It's Mr.Personal.Development. Right, both on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, can't miss him. You can't miss him at all. Mr. Personal Development himself, Justin Rambo. Thank you so much for being with us, sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, and your words to us. Thank you so much.
Michael, thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been a good ride. And listen, I don't know what your audience or fan base, or if you have someone new, but you're the truth. I mean, you're really good at what you do. So hats off to you. And, you just made me feel at home. So definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Calling all Trio, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our College Readiness Cohort Series. This College Readiness Series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
This is helpful because it's actually making me change my college plan.
Really?
If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. Back. So you know what today is? Today is Monday, Motivational Monday, with my dear brother, my dear friend, Timothy Clifton. Take it away, Tim.
Yo, man, it's your boy, Millennial Coach TC, and I want to come talk to you about some of y'all not putting enough life into your goals and your dreams. Some of you not manifesting yourself. You got to write those dreams down. You got to write those goals down. So something that I want you to do starting today is every single day I want you to start writing your goals down 3 times a day. In the morning, in the evening, and before you go to sleep. If you do this, I promise you, you will see these dreams unfold through work, through consistent, and through manifesting. Some of you just sitting around and just talking and you're not putting enough work to actually achieve these dreams and goals. So when you get to doing your stuff and you get to seeing these visions that you having, but you're not putting no life into it, then they don't be able to proceed and grow. You got to start putting life into your goals. You got to start putting life into your work ethic. You got to start putting life into your dreams. You got to start putting life into your mindset, into your healthiness. Like, I know, for example, when I first started to trying to achieve my dreams and goals, the first thing I had to do was start to believe in myself, which they get to believe in my mindset. If I don't believe in my mindset, then how would I be able to further proceed the mission? It's just like anything in life. You have to first believe it. And if you don't believe it, then you can't achieve it. So that's something I want you to repeat right now. If I can't believe it, then I can't achieve it. So starting today, I need you to start putting some energy into your goals. Anything you put energy into, it will achievably grow more and more and more. So again, starting today, I need you to start putting energy into your dreams and goals. And I promise you that you will start seeing results. But until then, you will only keep seeing the same thing that you're getting. So from now on, I need you, when you first wake up in the morning, put some energy into them goals. Put some energy into working out. Put some energy into their business. Put some energy into your schoolwork. Put some energy into your work ethic. Then I want you to do it in the evening when you're not doing nothing. You just take 5 minutes out of your day. Just 5 minutes. This can start helping you reach those goals. Grab it. Come closer to it. I know you know the saying that when you start to vision, and then when you start to work towards that vision, then you start to kind of touch it. You there before you actually there. You have to be the person in the now before you be actually there in the future. So when you get there in the future, it's not no surprise to you because you was already there since the beginning. So from this day on, I need you to put some energy and some life into everything that you're doing.
On the next Michael Finkley, celebrating Valentine's Day here on the Michael Finkley Show, we have marriage and couples counselor Molly Elizoff, and we have the love guru himself, Byron Jamal. And for our Black History moment, we have the first female president of Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, Dr. Rosalind Clark Artis. Next Finkley, Friday. Back. What did you learn today? Let's have a conversation in the comments below on our YouTube channel, Michael Finkley Show. Let's talk. All right, let's talk. I hope that you learned something. If you're trying to break into the communication world, the podcast era, all that kind of good stuff, please reach out to Steven. He is the man when it comes to that kind of thing. And if your business or even just self are looking for a little bit more professional development, please reach out to my dear friend Justin Rambo. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on and telling your stories. Really appreciate you. On the next Michael Finkley, we have two more superstars with us in their own right, making their marks in their own right. We have Dr. Russell Sabella and also Ramon Paliata. And I'm telling you, just awesomeness. I'm so excited to have them on Wednesday, and you could hear their stories. You can't miss this show. You can't miss it. You cannot miss it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show, and ring the bell for notification. We'll send you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please don't forget to listen to us on Spotify and also Apple Podcasts as well. Please visit our website, Michael Finkley Show, for more up-to-date information about who's going to be on, things that we're going to be doing. We have some awesome things in the pipeline. Y'all, you're going to watch out. You got to watch out for it. And y'all just have a great day. Live it out. Live it up. Because life's too short. Let's not have any type of regrets or wish, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Come on, y'all. Let's live the best life you know how. And while you're doing that, take some time out for Michael Finkley. We appreciate you. Have a good one, and we see you Wednesday.